Hello, citizens of the Reject Nation. Greg and John?
I think
That's who you are. John of House Humphrey. We are going to watch the Comic-Con trailer that we are obviously very late to watching, House of the Dragon. We haven't seen any of the trailers for House of the Dragon.
this will be fresh.
But we did, cover the last couple seasons of Game of Thrones right here on the channel. So if you guys want to watch those reactions, you can. Haven't revisited Game of Thrones since last watching it, but I am very curious, mainly because Matt Smith is in this series, and I am hearing that a lot of people are being very receptive to everything that they're seeing. And so we were like, maybe we should cover it. And I'm like, well, if we're planning on covering it, why don't we at least check out a trailer first and see how we respond to the trailer. So with that in mind, leave a like. That wouldn't take too much of your time. So please just go out of your way to move those opposable thumbs and boom, let's swing into action, people.
The dream. It was clearer than a memory. And I heard the sound of thundering hooves, splintering shields and ringing swords. And I placed my heir upon the Iron Throne.
Iron Throne.
The dragons roared as one.
Wow, wow, wow.
I consider the matter urgent. That of your succession.
Rhys Ifans.
It's the most dangerous seat in the realm. And our line is vulnerable, too easily ended.
Who else would have a claim?
The firstborn child.
Wow. That
No
armor.
queen has ever sat the Iron Throne.
The king has an heir, Daemon Targaryen.
No queen has sat the Iron Throne.
Between my brother and my daughter.
Rhaenyra's
Wow.
succession will be challenged. Knives will come out.
You are the king. Your first duty is to take a new wife.
I have
Nice.
decided to name a new heir. I'm your heir.
Oh,
He's afoot.
conflict.
Do you think the realm will ever accept me as their queen?
The lords of the realm bend the knee.
A woman would not inherit the Iron Throne.
Because that is the order of things.
When I clearly get an order.
For now.
Your family has dragons. They are a power men should never have trifled with.
Whoa.
Whoa,
Damn.
more dragon action.
Targaryens are close to the
Like
gods
Smaug.
and men. If Rhaenyra comes into power, she could cut off any challenge to her succession.
I am to inherit the Iron Throne. She will block my way.
Our hearts remain as one.
Our hearts were never one. Have you never imagined yourself on the Iron Throne?
Where is duty? Where is sacrifice?
Now they see you as you are.
Holy shit, that looks great.
Wow.
That looks really good.
Yeah.
That was a good trailer.
That was a great trailer.
That was a great trailer. I didn't think I'd be. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I did not think I'd be excited for this show. That's the reason I've been avoiding it and haven't really been like, yeah.
Yeah, there's some goodwill to build back after the end of Game of
So
Thrones.
I loved Game of Thrones, and I still feel like even with the final season, there was so much to still appreciate about what they did. However, after it was done, I was like, okay, I'm ready to say bye.
Yeah,
Even though I still think it's one of the best, despite its last season, I still think it's one of the best shows ever made. But then to come back to here, Like, this looks pretty awesome. It does look good. It looks great.
Yeah, well, and it looks really, really tangible, and that's the thing is like Game of Thrones like upped the ante in terms of just how far we are going to go to get these crazy locations and these incredible just that moment where you're like staring through like racks of candles and everything. Like you really feel like you are in a whole other time and place. And then to go back, this is based on source material, and for me, that's been my biggest thing is like what we've learned from Game of Thrones is that it's a bit of a slippery slope when you're off-roading past the source material, but this does have a book to draw from. That gets me excited for the whole thing because it looks great, and now I'm confident in what they have based it off of, and I love the look of the cast too. Like,
well, I mean, I don't remember everyone's name here, but it seems like a really focused.
You didn't get them all from just this
no,
one trailer?
I didn't. I heard Targaryen, Baratheon at one point. I'm like, I know those names. It's pretty obvious that you got a pretty simple plot. Like I like that not the plot is simple. I'm sure there's a lot of complexities and politics and dealing with legacy, all these things involved with the world of House of the Dragon. But the plot is so focused on the fight for the Iron Throne and mainly focusing on the two Targaryens, the brother of the king and the daughter of the king, and watching as that comes into conflict. And I like that conflict because they are related, they are blood, and they are fighting for the spot, and it has two completely different meanings for each one of them, and then I like how that is a central focus plot, so it was easy to latch onto, where like that is a aspect to Game of Thrones that is definitely a main ingredient to the show, but it didn't start off as this is the central focus of the fight for the Iron Throne right away. And I like that they're grounding it in that, and you're going to explore the history. And I think this will even help serve the Daenerys storyline down the road, because there's so much talk in this trailer, with the Targaryens. There's going to be a woman there. Rather see the city burn. This is never going to happen.
It looks like they could definitely do some rhyming. It's like poetry. They could do some rhyming.
Spielberg.
Yeah, definitely. Zemeckis, dude.
Yeah, sorry.
They could do some of that, and they could also, there's so much made out of, the legacy of the Targaryens, even in what we saw in Game of Thrones and, the history of dragons and all that. So this does feel like a very natural place to go that, will have, impact, not impact, but it will be informed by what we've seen in Game of Thrones, and it will, sort of tie in what feels like a very natural way to that.
Yeah. I was impressed. It looks a little more fantastical just because of the fact that you're dealing with dragons, much more prevalent. Like the dragons didn't even come into play until like a few seasons into Game of Thrones. That was a big part of Game of Thrones, was the rebirth of the dragons again. And here it still actually feels much more war heavy and a little bit more. It's like all these things I'm saying, I'm like, no, Game of Thrones did do that. But there is, like, you said the word tangible, and so it does feel a little bit more real world, yet has more of the fantasy of the dragons.
Yeah.
So it is kind of interesting. It does feel more like, not exactly scuzzy, but a little bit more gritty and,
you're in an earlier time where it's like, you're already.
Has more of a medieval flair.
It's already, a medieval sort of dirty world that Game of Thrones occupies.
Yes.
So this being even earlier than that has to be that much grimier and that much more primitive in certain ways, at least. Yeah. Like a harsh world to live in.
So we'll see. I hope it delivers. I hope it lands. And what do you guys think? Are you excited for the show? Should we cover it? Comes out in a few weeks. Regardless, now I'm at a point where I'm like, well, I'm definitely going to watch it. Even if we don't react to it, I'm definitely going to watch it. So, subscribe, leave a like, and hey, let's answer the Patreon.
Ricardo of House Martinez. There are no Latinos in the Game of Thrones universe. I feel like you should be the first Latino knight to ride in. They're like,
what was Pedro Pascal?
Pedro Pascal was a Martell, and they were from there are Hispanics in the Game of Thrones universe. I just, there are
not
enough, man, especially in this part of the universe where it's like everyone's blonde.
Where's your blonde-haired
and like
Latinos?
albinos and stuff. Like, we need you to come bring some flavor to the Iron Throne.
Chile.
Yeah. Turn the Iron Throne into an iron skillet, throw some chili powder on there, make up some carne asada or something. This is getting dangerously close to being a racist shout-out.
Just like your last shout-out.
That's right, man. That's all we do here is us just dance on the line. But hey, buddy, love you. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for sticking with us. And hey, if you're a Game of Thrones fan, let us know, and then maybe we'll shout you out when the show's actually on.
Rock on.
Rock on.
Ricardo.